We want to take an opportunity now to look back on what has been a wonderful night in the Betway Premiership. As mentioned earlier, 12 goals scored, a single one separating Kaizer Chiefs and Richards Bay coming in the second half. A goal of great quality, and we had to wait quite a while for this one, Matthew, but we did touch at halftime on if there are going to be some changes, attacking changes instituted by Kaizer Chiefs that did make those in that second half.
He swung from one end of the spectrum to the other by taking off both Kaizer and Ndlovu, which surprised me, but it was good to see, because he obviously wanted some creativity up front. It was almost a case of too many cooks spoiling the broth, to be honest, but this is a great move, and what a finish. Good dummy by Shabalala, and Sereno still a lot to do. He uses the defender as his target, giving Magula no chance there, up and over. Top corner, great finish from him.
The goal le manakanaka. The goal le manakanaka. There was nothing that Makula could do in goals in that instance. It just meant that Kaizer Chiefs, they go 3-3. When you're looking at Kaizer Chiefs, the last time they won the first 3 games, they went on to win their first 8 games. That was 2014, 2015. A lot of people maybe might not want to hear me say this.
Please say it.
They then went on to win the league as the Chiefs. And the other day on extra time, I said to Matthew and his friend that they are dark horses. And they were saying dark horses for what?
Matthew and his friend.
Matthew and his friend.
Yeah.
Now it's 3 out of 3. The last time it was 3 out of 3. It went on to be 8 out of 8. And they were league champions in 2014, 2015.
First of all, I'd just like to interject there. Thomas is not my friend, he's my colleague. Okay, we work together. But dark horses of what exactly? We wanted also to commit to the league, to a cup, or like dark horses in what?
So he didn't commit?
He didn't.
Okay.
Just to bring Chiefs fans back down to earth a little bit, this was not a great attacking performance from Chiefs. I've seen better in their first 2 games. They've still gotten a result though, which is a great positive. They were also lucky that Richards Bay came here and they were incredibly sluggish.
Right.
I mean, Peterson could have had his deck chair out with a cup of tea on his goal line. Wasn't bothered. It was very easy for the back 4. I think Cross as well was very economical in what he did very well. It was difficult to kind of select the man of the match, in my opinion. But they've got to be more sharper up front. More cutting, more forthright in their decision making. They weren't great today, but that goal was well deserved, and that was one of their few dangerous moments that they created.
For me, championship teams win games like this where they don't deserve to win.
Yes, I agree.
And for me, it says a lot about the technical team of Kaizer Chiefs. They see that they made a tactical mistake in the game, starting with a 6 and 2 8s. Then they saw that at halftime they needed to make that tactical switch, keep an 8, play 2 10s, and be able to be more creative in the final third. The goal that Sereno scores, yes, it's a great goal that is scored by Sereno, but let's give credit to the technical team of Kaizer Chiefs to say they make the mistake in terms of how they set up in that midfield. They make the double change, and that double change goes on to elevate the game to the next level, and Sereno scores a great goal.
I did mention, as we're building up to tonight's football, that we've seen a couple of winners, a couple of players coming off the bench to score the winner this season. Yet another case of that with Gaston Sereno. I'm going to ask the 2 of you, as we head back to the FNB Stadium in a short while, to think about this and perhaps what you guys feel is the issue here. Is it something? Is it nothing? For Kaizer Chiefs, 3 matches played. In each of the 3 wins they've had, it's defensive-minded players that have won the Man of the Match award. Is it something? Is it nothing? Think about that. For the time being, let's head to the FNB Stadium, because on top of the win today, Kaizer Chiefs have got a couple of new faces that are joining Amakosi. Let's hear from the sporting director, Kaizer Jr.
Junior, we want to talk about the signings, but we can't ignore the vibe here at the FNB Stadium. Beautiful scenes.
I must say, it's midweek. People have traveled, people have worked tomorrow. It's amazing to see the vibe, the numbers, the families, the young ones in the stand, and I think this is what it's all about, you know. So I think when the players, if they understand their responsibility, these people come out on a Wednesday night like this, it's unbelievable, and it's what we do it for them.
Let's talk about that mood. Halftime, you're able to bring out the new signing, the big reveal, and the fans were excited, they were elated to see them.
I think it's all about the specific players we need for how we want to play. We're very excited, and we always had a clear strategy about getting the best young talent. So we're just very pleased to welcome them. Obviously, we know there are a couple of administrative issues still to happen, but we're very excited, especially also, you know, bringing in Igadora up front. And we know the young talents with Bachman and Velabai excited to unleash them with the fans, but at the same time, you know, they need some time to understand who we are. This process hasn't been easy. Again, you know, the squad is picking up, but we're still very much a work in progress.
Are the conversations different when you're signing players and the team is doing so well?
I think it's important because the environment that they need to come into and gel and understand, it helps when you have points in the bag. You know, at the end of the day, you go to preseason because of this. You want to come back in your first game, you want 3 points. Next game, you want 3 points. You don't want to concede goals. Football is simple. You have to score and you mustn't concede. So it helps the environment when new players come into an environment, especially with the pressure, especially with their age. I mean, you look at Luke is 19, you know, us is also 21. So we've targeted them specifically, but we know they've got big characters, but this is important for them to acclimatize and to move forward in the group with smooth integration.
And talking about the ethos of Kaizer Chiefs, them believing in youngsters, it's evident with Aiden McCarthy.
Yeah, very proud of Aiden. Aiden, to be very fair, you know, it's very important he keeps his head on the ground and people around him, but he comes from a royalty, a football bloodline that is top. I mean, I was lucky enough to play with his father, but he's taken the chance, Aiden. I think right now chances are very few and far between. There's a lot of competition within the group, so if you have your chance, you must grab it, you know, and you have to leave that jersey in a better place than, you know, how you found it. He's taken his chance. It's only 3 games. I think let's talk at the end of May.
Thank you, Junior.
Thank you so much.
Well, the end of May is a long way away, but plenty of reason for Kaizer Chiefs and their faithful to be happy with what they've seen, result-wise anyway, and indeed the trio of players that have added to their stable. Luke Batman, Etiosa Igodaro, and with an asterisk next to his name, Asenele Velebai. Very quickly, thoughts on that particular type of recruitment for Kaizer Chiefs?
Yeah, especially when you're looking at the 9. You know, they've had the Juvara project. You've had Maros coming in. Juvara not really doing the business. Maros injury, bad timing. And now they've brought in Igodaro, who I think is a very shrewd piece of business. Again, going for Luke Bartman, young player to add to their young group of players looking towards the future. And Velibaya as well, kind of raiding the Cape Town Spurs situation, and picking up some quality players from down south.
I think for me, they'll need time. Velibali and Batman will need time. I'm looking at Igodaro. He will hit the ground running. I think a good number 9 has got lots of goals in him. With the type of offensive midfielders that Kaizer Chiefs have, you give it Igodaro the supply, you'll get you the goals. And I think when I look at the 3 signings, I'm thinking he can hit the ground running. Velibai will get opportunities nice and early. Batman is one for the future.
Okay, I'll ask you guys to think about this particular question, so I'll ask it again. Kaizer Chiefs, 3 matches played, 3 wins. In each of those 3 games, defensive-minded players have been man of the match. Aiden McCarthy twice, Thabo Cele. Is that something? Is it nothing?
I wouldn't say Thabo Cele is a defensive player.
Okay.
He's a modern number 8. Ability to attack, ability to defend. Has got the capacity to be a box-to-box midfielder. Has got a progressive pass on him. It just depends where you want to deploy him. And I think at Kaizer Chiefs, he will be deployed more as an 8. There will be games where against a low block like this, you don't need to play with a 6. Then you will play slightly deeper. You will have a Sereno and a Ngobo just in front of him. But to answer your question, I don't think there's much to read into that in terms of the Man of the Match awards. And today, I thought he really played a little bit offensively, even though in the second half he just set deeper.
In this, in their first two games, they came under a lot more pressure, Chiefs, so deservingly McCarthy, Peterson had to do very well. When it comes to Durban City, this was unfortunate from Carl. So, he just didn't judge the flight of the ball. It hits him on the wrong side. He's leaning back a little bit, catch him on the wrong side of the head. I think Moore could have done a little bit better there, got in across his goals a little bit quicker, but perhaps was not even expecting that ball to come off the head in that fashion. And rather unfortunate from the young man making his debut start.
So then, 1-0 at that stage to Durban City. It wasn't a lead that was going to last too long for the newbies in South Africa's top flight, because just before half-time, it would be 1-1, and an equaliser coming from a man who's already scored this season, Junior Dion.
Yeah, Junior Dion, a man with an eye for goal, a man that is always making runs on the shoulder of the last defender. That ding for me, I'm still repeating, top class. You give him the supply, he'll give you the goals. I think this will give Mangobe and his team a lot of confidence. And I thought a 1-1 draw was a deserved score, but of the two coaches, I think Mriti will be happy. Gavin Hunt will not be happy to say he's dropping points. He will look at this game and question the game management. He'll look at this game, question the defending. When I speak about the defending, is the group defending, because he makes the run on the shoulder of the last defender. Could Keith have stayed on his line a little bit longer, or on his feet a little bit longer? The answer would be yes. And that's why I'm saying when Gavin Hunt will analyze this game and review it, you'll feel that he dropped 2 points.
So then, after 2 wins in succession for Durban City, they have now endured their first stalemate of the season, 1-1 against Golden Arrows. Let's go to what Chippa United then had in store for us against CS Galaxy. We spoke at length during our build-up of the issues currently permeating in and around the Chili Boys. 5 minutes in though, Matthew, it seemed as if it was all going well.
Oh, this is a great window pass into that pocket, and nice interplay there, inside and onto the chest. A little bit of a long ball. A bit of a strange cutback because it came across rather softly, but it was kind of, reading it well. It was almost an invitation for him to come and attack the ball, which he does so well.
Yeah, and his second goal of the season. The response, though, would be of great quality, Pumuzo, inspired with CS Galaxy by Puso Ditejane.
Yeah, excellent young player, produced at Kaizer Chiefs. He scores a hat-trick tonight. His first one was magnificent. I thought an unstoppable shot for him to take, to give them that equalizer. But he goes on to kick on and show more hunger and get a hat-trick in the game.
Yeah, a very first hat-trick for a TS Galaxy player in South Africa's top flight. So historic evening for him. Mlu Mbujane was also on the score sheet. And again, not too sure too many saw this turnaround from a Galaxy point of view. They played twice, lost twice, and we did mention as well just the lack of numbers they have in their squad at the moment.
Yeah, Mbujane, I've always watched him very closely. One of the few box-to-box players, and it's great to see him at the edge of the box, then getting a great strike off. I think it was a slight deflection, but that's definitely contender for moment of the week. And then this is a fantastic finish, because Ditejane has still a lot to do here. He does very well to angle his head, so that just sneaks in at the far post. And you saw all 4 substitutes celebrating with him. But who needs more subs when you have Ditejane on the field scoring a hat-trick? Yeah.
He could do it all himself. So they win for the first time this season, winners by 4-1. Chippa United, lots of question marks there. And perhaps we'll see exactly what does transpire over the next couple of days pertaining to the Chili Boys. Siwelele were at home, away from home, as it were, this time at the Lucas Muripe Stadium, taking on Polokwane City. And we touched on this, Pumuzo. From a goalkeeping point of view, perhaps disappointing for someone so experienced as Ricardo Goss, particularly because this was a decisive moment in this game.
Not reading the pace of the ball, not anticipating the pace that he gets in that instance, and it's a delightful ball that is slotted in by Sibone. For me, it says a lot about what Siema is trying to do at Siwelele.
Yeah.
The changing of the stadium, does that affect the players? That is the questions that we have to ask. But it was a great night of football where we saw a hat-trick scored by Tejani. We saw a hat-trick of assists coming from Makhalwa. You know, and I think the last time we saw a hat-trick was Boyeli scoring a hat-trick on the 12th of January against SuperSport United. But again today there's a hat-trick of assist and a hat-trick from Tejani.
A reminder that Keleto Makhalwa was the top assist maker last season in the Betway Premiership with 11. He's already on 4, 3 of them coming in this particular game. Quite comfortably the best player.
Yeah, Makhalwa had a fantastic season last season, and most of his assists came from very strong runs, one-on-one runs against the fullbacks, dropping his shoulder, you know, a little dink-in pass into the box or a little chip in. I think he's become a little bit more direct, as we can see from this particular game. You know, he's getting the ball in early, he's changing it up a little bit, and the delivery is everything, because the first 2 have been whipped in at pace, made it very difficult for defenders, and he's carried on. What's just so impressive, he's carried on from where he left off last season. Normally you see a dip, and that's great maturity shown from him.
Wonderful maturity indeed, and the beneficiaries thereof were Vusimuzi Mncube twice and Tsepo Mokwane, Sekhukhune 3-0 winners. So we've seen 5 matches today, 12 goals scored. We expect plenty more across the 3 matches. On your World of Champions, tomorrow evening, Orlando Pirates at home against Stellenbosch Football Club. What a tie that promises to be at the very same time. Over in Seshego in Polokwane, it is Mamelodi Sundowns visiting Makesi Football Club. AmaZulu are at home, taking on one of 3 sides now with a 100% record in Marumo Gallants. And of course, as is always the case, we'll be here for each and every one of those ties. Gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. Certainly do appreciate it.